Live service God of War. Did that hurt your ears? I'll say it one more time. Live service God of War. Live service and God of War should be two separate things that should never come in contact with each other. What's going on, everybody? My name is Harrison. Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, we're talking about PlayStation. We're talking about God of War. Look, we know PlayStation had this idea that they were going to. It was what, 12 games that they were going to do, live service games, and I mean none have worked out. The damage Jim Ryan did to PlayStation before leaving is generational. I mean, he is horrible. The ideas that he had, and obviously, you know, he was at the top, and it has to be approved. You know, we know that, but the ideas that Jim Ryan did in the PlayStation 5 era have been absolutely atrocious. And look, live service games are fine. You know, they have their place in the gaming landscape. You know, one cannot argue how dominant stuff like Fortnite is, you know, in other games. But I mean, the writing is on the wall with a lot of these other live service games, Destiny. You know, there's so many that have come and gone, and Destiny is still, you know, pretty big. But you know, I don't know. It's crazy. Obviously, we know about this report that came from Bloomberg from Jason Schreier, stating that an unannounced God of War live service game was canceled. Who in their right mind thought that this was a good idea? I mean, The Last of Us multiplayer. Like, while I do think that was a terrible idea, and a waste of kind of Naughty Dog's talent on making something like that. At least that makes sense because The Last of Us has had multiplayer in the past, so they have kind of that initial idea, and they can kind of create something more, you know, expand, you know, upon that. But I mean, just look at this. I'm reading some of the stuff that's been canceled. The Concord. I mean, Concord was a disastrous. I mean, it was monumentally bad. It was cost PlayStation so much money and canceled within a week. I mean, that's historic. You know, obviously, you know, the God of War game we just got, Last of Us got canceled. You know, that Spider-Man 2. I don't know if you guys remember the Spider-Man, uh, you know, game that was internally canceled. You know, the live service thing, which that one looked kind of cool. I mean, it had like the multiverse, the multiverse stuff implemented into the game, so like that at least looked interesting, and that looked like it was put together pretty well. But obviously, it was canceled. You know, the Ben Studio multiplayer thing got canceled. Yeah, again, Jim Ryan, I just don't think he knew what he was doing, in my opinion. I admittedly, I have dogged a lot on PlayStation this generation. You know, and I've just, you know, I got a PlayStation 5 first thing last year. You know, I purchased it for myself for my birthday back in March of last year. Um, you know, and I had a blast. I mean, that was some of my best gaming experience was with the PlayStation 5. Mainly due to, you know, third-party exclusives. Astrobot was obviously incredible. You know, I did dog on the PlayStation Portal, but now I've been playing, you know, Metaphor Fantasio on my backbone, and it runs really good. You know, my Wi-Fi is pretty good at my house, and it runs excellent on my phone. So, you know what? I went ahead and pre-ordered the Midnight Black for the PlayStation Portal, so I have that coming next month, and I'm very excited to try that out. So I've turned around on PlayStation, but they make it easy to dog on them. They really do. I mean, with Xbox having struggling so much this generation on, you know, is Game Pass profitable? Is Game Pass worth it? You know, so much stuff is kind of up in the air with Game Pass, and you know, I I don't know if they're going to ditch it in the future, but I think it's a big possibility. You know, I mean, with them moving their games to the third, you know, the other platforms and stuff like that, I just don't think they're making enough money on Game Pass to justify not selling people games. So, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. And obviously, Nintendo is Switch 2 just got announced, so they're kind of crushing it right now with all eyes on them. And PlayStation just seems to have struggled as well. They should have capitalized so much this generation, And while the PlayStation 5 has sold pretty decently, it's not selling as well as the PS4 did in its initial 5 years. At least I believe so. I think that's correct. But with remastering all these games, with remastering Horizon, Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 got a remaster. The only remaster that people care about on PlayStation right now is Bloodborne, and I don't know what the deal is with that. Does Miyazaki want to be involved? Will he allow them? But it's PlayStation's IP, so like, why can't they have another studio do it? It's just baffling to me how much they have kind of fumbled this generation on their decisions, and it started with this live service nonsense. I mean, for the most part, nobody wants live service is fine in Fortnite. I think that's absolutely fine. Like Fortnite it's its own thing. Like it's no, you can't even come close to what Fortnite has done. And not even just like selling skins and stuff. Like their in-game events are pretty awesome. Shaking it up with different battle passes and stuff like that. I mean, one could argue that it's like, okay, they have a music pass and an OG pass and a regular battle pass. It's a lot. Um, but for like kind of the casual Fortnite game like player like I am, I may dive in every once in a while and play. Sometimes I'll pick up the battle pass, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just pick up a skin that I want instead of the battle pass. It just kind of depends. But yeah, what PlayStation is doing is just it's mind-boggling. It really is. I don't get it. You know, when we think of PlayStation, we think of these really incredible third person, action adventure style games. Maybe not. I kind of laugh at third person because they really are third person, but we come to them for these incredible single player experiences, and I don't know. I just feel like we have not gotten all that in this generation. Yeah, we got God of War, cross-gen games, Spider-Man 2. I really liked, but a lot of people are kind of like, I think they were high on it at first, and now that the dust has settled on Spider-Man 2, like, no one really talks about it anymore. And that's fine. It's a single player game. But I think a lot of people liked the first one a lot more. Um, and then Horizon, like, I don't know, like, so PlayStation is trying to shove Horizon down everybody's throat. I don't really care for that franchise, and I think a lot of people are kind of in the same boat as I. And God of War is like one of their best franchises, and to think the audacity of them to even think that they could attempt at making a live service game is embarrassing, to say the least. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.